One of the greatest challenges in accepting divine love is overcoming the resistance that stems from within. This resistance often comes not from a lack of desire for companionship, but from emotional wounds that remain unhealed. These wounds, inflicted by past relationships, betrayals, or disappointments, create invisible barriers that shield the heart from future pain, but also block future joy. When you carry emotional baggage, especially from people you once trusted, it becomes increasingly difficult to welcome someone new. You may fear that history will repeat itself, and rather than risk further heartbreak, you unconsciously shut the door on possibilities that were meant to bless you. If this resonates, make sure to subscribe for more encouragement rooted in truth and healing. This emotional hesitation is especially strong when the person God brings into your life doesn't match the ideal image you've constructed. Perhaps they don't look the way you imagined, or their personality challenges you in unexpected ways, but that doesn't mean they aren't the one. Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." We often plan based on what we think we want, but God operates from a place of perfect understanding. His plan isn't just about comfort, it's about growth. The person He sends may not be someone who makes your life easier right away, but someone who refines and strengthens you in love. Have you ever been surprised by who God placed in your life? Comment below and share your experience. Love can be misleading when driven purely by emotion. Jeremiah 17:9 warns, "The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?" This verse reveals that even our sincere intentions can sometimes lead us astray, especially when we are infatuated or lonely. Love can cause us to justify red flags or ignore warning signs because we crave connection. This emotional fog blurs our judgment and often leads to choices that feel good temporarily, but leave lasting pain. Without spiritual discernment, we mistake attraction for compatibility or passion for purpose. This is why trusting God's guidance is vital, because He sees what we cannot. Know someone who needs to hear this truth? Share this message with them today. The complexity of love is further magnified when considering situations like emotional abuse. Victims often remain in harmful relationships, not because they're unaware of the abuse, but because the moments of affection and tenderness become emotional anchors. These rare moments offer just enough hope to keep them tethered. The cycle of cruelty and kindness creates confusion, making it difficult to leave even when the relationship is clearly destructive. This illustrates how emotions can deceive and entrap, showing us why discernment, rooted in faith rather than feelings, is so crucial in choosing who we allow into our hearts. If this speaks to your journey or someone you love, comment and help others know they're not alone. At various points in life, we all stand at crossroads where our feelings pull us in one direction, while wisdom suggests another. The temptation to follow our own desires can be strong, especially in love, where emotions often drown out reason. Proverbs 14:12 states, "There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death." This passage isn't only about physical ruin. It's about emotional and spiritual detours that rob us of joy and purpose. What may seem appealing now could ultimately derail your path if it's not aligned with God's will. Only He knows the full story of your life, including who and what you truly need. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom-centered messages like this. The danger of relying solely on your own understanding becomes clear when you reflect on decisions made in isolation from God. It's easy to believe you know what's best for yourself, especially when your heart yearns for love and companionship. But emotional decisions made without spiritual grounding often lead to regret. God sees the unseen, the intentions of others, and the future consequences of present choices. He desires not only to give you love, but to give you lasting love, the kind that uplifts, protects, and strengthens. When you trust His timing and direction, you invite His hand to orchestrate your relationships with care and purpose. Know someone struggling to wait on God's timing? Share this with them as a reminder to hold on. You are standing on the edge of a transformative season in your life, the moment where an incredible blessing is about to enter. That blessing is the gift of love. But before it can arrive, you must ask yourself a vital question. Are you truly open to receiving this love as God intends it? This is not just about romance. It's about divine alignment. There is a reason, perhaps even two, why this message has found its way to you right now. First, God may be drawing closer to you in this very moment, calling you into deeper intimacy with Him. Second, He may be sending a special man into your life, someone uniquely chosen to walk alongside you. But in order to receive either, your heart must be in a posture of readiness and trust. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe for more Spirit-led insights. Preparing your heart for divine love isn't always easy, especially when you've been through past relationships that ended in disappointment or heartbreak. Many people have experienced betrayal, loss, or emotional damage after giving their love freely and fully. When you love unconditionally and are met with unkindness or indifference in return, it becomes natural to raise walls instead of extending openness. As a result, the very love that God is preparing for you may seem unappealing or even threatening. This resistance, though understandable, often stands in direct conflict with God's desire to bring true love and healing into your life. Have you experienced this kind of heart wall before? Comment below. Your story could help someone else heal too. There's a profound truth in Romans 5:5, which says, "Hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit." This verse reminds us that even when life is difficult, when our hearts are aching, and when love seems elusive, God has not left us alone. His love is already within us, sustaining us with patience, comfort, and guidance. Still, so many of us overlook the divine signs that He gently places in our path. It's not that He is silent. It's that we often lack the stillness or spiritual clarity to notice what He is saying. If this verse touched you, share this message with someone who needs to be reminded of God's nearness. When we feel emotionally unprepared or reluctant to enter a new season of love, we tend to justify our avoidance. It becomes easy to convince ourselves that we're better off alone, or that no one will meet our standards, or that love simply isn't for us anymore. This kind of self-protection can feel like wisdom, but it may actually be resistance to the grace that God is trying to extend. Just as we avoid responsibilities when we feel uncertain or afraid, we also avoid new relationships when we doubt their potential for joy. But God's blessings do not always arrive in ways we expect, and often they challenge us before they comfort us. If you're learning to let go of fear, subscribe, and continue this journey of healing and trust. In these moments of hesitation, opportunities are missed. People close themselves off, ignoring gentle nudges from the Holy Spirit, and as a result, they miss out on potential connections. Especially when someone does not immediately meet our preconceived expectations, we may shut the door before they even have a chance to show their heart. Often, we mistake God's chosen partner for us as someone who should immediately feel perfect, when in reality, true love requires time, trust, and discernment to grow. Your ideal partner may not look or act like your type, but that doesn't mean they're not the right one sent by God. Tag or share this with a friend who might be unknowingly blocking a blessing. Far too many people cling to ideals shaped by the world, criteria based on appearance, status, charisma, or superficial traits. These inflexible standards can cause us to dismiss people who might otherwise bring deep, lasting joy. The truth is, many of the traits we believe we need in a partner are rooted more in ego than in spirit. God knows not just what we desire, but what we truly need for our emotional growth and spiritual fulfillment. And often, what we need comes wrapped in a package we wouldn't have chosen for ourselves, but that ends up being exactly right. If this shifted your perspective, hit and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.